Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Gudia Hesti Junia, a student from majoring Communication Science, Andalas University. So in this video, I want to share to you about the conflict from Russia and Ukraine and explain how the role from the international communication to solve this problem. So when we're speaking of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the Russia-Ukraine conflict is an ongoing war between Russia, along with pro-Russian separatist forces, and Ukraine. Several things are behind the Russia-Ukraine conflict, including Ukraine's proximity to the Western Bloc, Ukraine's desire to join NATO, and Russia-Ukraine's different interpretation of the Minsk Agreement. The hot and cold relationship between Russia and Ukraine has not only happened this time, but there was a split in the Commonwealth of Independent States, consisting of Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine. In addition, in 2014, the Ukrainian people managed to overthrow the president of Ukraine, Viktor Yanukovych, who was known to be pro-Russian. So Russia took advantage of this moment to take the Crimea region because there was a power vacuum in Ukraine. In 2021 and early 2022, there was a major Russian military built up around the Ukrainian border. NATO accused Russia of planning an invasion, which is denied. Russian President Vladimir Putin criticized NATO expansion as a threat to his country and demanded that Ukraine be barred from joining the military alliance. He also expressed views of Russian irredentism, questioned Ukraine's right to exist, and falsely stated that Ukraine was created by Soviet Russia. On February 24, 2022, Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered an invasion of Ukraine by Russian armed forces previously concentrated along the border. The invasion was followed by airstrikes targeted at military buildings in the country, as well as tanks entering through the Belarusian border. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky declared martial law across Ukraine. Air raid sirens were heard across Ukraine for most of the day. Ukraine's ICT infrastructure has deteriorated due to Russian cyber attacks and bombings. Several Ukrainian cities or buildings have been occupied, including the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Of course, this conflict has an impact on the economy, such as the food crisis, oil and gas prices soaring, food supply disrupted, Western companies closing shop in Russia, and global economic growth slowing. Many countries applied economic sanctions against Russia, Russian individuals or companies, especially after the 2022 invasion. So, what is the role of international communication in the Russia-Ukraine conflict? The first, the United Nations has called for diplomacy and dialogue as the best way to resolve conflict. As stated in Article 2, Paragraph 3 of the UN Charter, all member states shall settle their international disputes peacefully in such a manner that international peace and security and justice are not jeopardized. Second, good advices is a way of resolving disputes with the help of a third party that aims to facilitate the meeting of conflicting parties to meet, sit together, and negotiate with the aim of resolving conflicts. One of the countries willing to facilitate the meeting of the two countries is Turkey. Turkey offered itself to be the venue for the meeting of the Russian and Ukrainian parties on Thursday, March 10, 2022. The good offices carried out by Turkey can be done as a follow-up to the resolution issues by the UN General Assembly, where a country can offer its role to become a mediator without intending to intervene from the conflicting parties as mandated in Article 23, Paragraph 1 and Article 35, Paragraph 1 of the UN Charter. Trilateral meetings held in Turkey are considered to be the right way to be chosen by the two countries, considering that both countries have good relations with Turkey. Ukraine has good friendly relations with Turkey, which is also a member of NATO. And on the other hand, Turkey is also very dependent on Russia for energy supply. Third, through international organization, the UN Security Council has fought an emergency session of the UN General Assembly, which took place on March 2, 2022 to pass a draft resolution condemning Russian military attacks on Ukraine and asking Russia to stop military action and withdraw soldiers from Ukraine. And the fourth is mediation. Mediation is an effort to resolve dispute through the third party called a mediator. It can be a state, international organization, or neutral individual who has the capacity to reconcile these parties by providing dispute resolution advice. There are at least 4 countries that the author sees as mediator in resolving this conflict. The first is Turkey. Turkey, as we have explained in the alternative negotiations, Turkey has bilateral ties with both countries, so that the author considers Turkey suitable as a mediator in resolving the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The second is Israel. Israel is one of the few countries that has good working relationship with Russia and Ukraine. Israel, through its prime minister, has spoken 3 times with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Naftali Bennett has also had a dialogue with Putin. Although the chances of this mediation are not great, he will continue to lend whatever assistance is requested. The third is China. China is a country that has a very close relationship with Russia. In addition, the ideology of the 2 countries being the same China bilateral cooperation with Russia is growing steadily from year to year. Apart from Russia, China also invests in Ukraine in the fields of infrastructure, agriculture, and weapons technology. China also took a neutral position in the voting conducted by the UN emergency session for the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The fourth, Indonesia. Indonesia is the founding country of the non-aligned movement and the leader of ASEAN, which has reconciled several conflicts that occur in ASEAN. In addition, through a good historical relationship with Moscow, Indonesia is considered the future of the economy for both countries. So, that is the explain from the conflict Russia and Ukraine and how the international communication solve this problem. That's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.